What's up? Welcome to Brando's World of X Games. I'm so excited for our next guest. Actually, that's an understatement. I am so hyped to bring on our next guest, freshly crowned the king of real snow. He is your real snow gold medalist for 2020, RENE RINNEKANGAS. RENE, how you doing, man?
Thank you. I'm good. How are you?
I'm really well, dude. It's
Nice.
so good to have you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Obviously, you've known about this for a couple of weeks. You had to keep it under wraps, but now that the world knows, how does it feel to be an X Games gold medalist?
Oh, it feels unreal. I mean, just being part of like X Games, Real Snow, and like Aspen as well. It means so much to me, and like always been watching these videos since I was a little kid. So it's feels amazing. Thank you.
Yeah. It was cool if you got to watch the World of X Games episode where we see all the parts and you find out that you won. It was really neat because Jack Matrani it looks like he surprised you. Where was that, at the US Open in Vail? What was the story there with the gold medal?
Yeah, that was pretty funny actually. Yeah, we were in Vail for the Burton US Open, and he asked me like if I could do a little interview for a Peace Park, like saying thank you, Danny, for making Peace Park. So I was like, yeah, sure. And then I went to the room, and they got me like all the microphones and cameras, and then they're like, hey, okay, I'm gonna get the other guy here, and then they were like, hey, surprise. that was pretty crazy. That was crazy.
Got him. So let's talk about this team, because it really is a collaborative effort. I think sometimes that might get lost with the real series, whether it's snow or ski or skateboard, BMX. We tend to look at the athlete and congratulate them, and they get the medal. But as you know, it really takes a village. And your team, which I guess you dubbed the stunt team, tell us about that crew.
Yeah, well, at first, like when I started riding streets, my brother started first. So after like a couple of years, I got to know like Anton, who's the filmer, and Mr. Brown, who's taking photos these days. So I've been filming and taking photos with those guys since I was like 11, 12 years old. So yeah, it's a dream team for sure.
So you started filming with this crew. You said back your older brother was filming. So you were like 11 or 12 when you first started kind of filming in the streets?
Yeah, I think I was like 11.
Wow. So let's get to the masterpiece, the work of art that won you the gold medal. This video, tell us about the process, how long it took you to film, where you filmed.
Well, at first, like before, like when I got to know, like I got invited for Real Snow, I broke my ankle like right before it, and I had to have like 2 months break. I couldn't snowboard at all, and then we started filming slowly, and we kind of like we were looking for some smaller spots and like the spots that they're better for my ankle, and and then the plan was film around the Helsinki area, but there was no snow this year, so we had to like totally like find new spots, and pretty much we were just filming around my hometown, and I think there's a little like countryside look in that video. So
what I really liked about it was you definitely got a taste of what you traditionally see in a lot of these street parts. You know, all the different handrails. Looks like you were riding around a church, but I like the industrial feel, as you said. I don't know if it was like farm or what, but
exactly.
There were features that you just don't traditionally see in a video part that you captured really throughout your entire edit.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it was. We were pretty lucky with all the spots that we found because, like I said, we already had like pretty much every spot on our mind, like where should we go, but there was no snow around those areas, so we had to find all the new spots.
And how long did it take you to sort of figure out what you wanted that ender to be? Because that double Miller flip off of that tank, I mean, that's just not something you see in the street. That was psycho.
Well, thank you. Actually, I think I was not even thinking about that trick for this project, but like we were driving like in a smaller place in like pretty close to my hometown, and we suddenly like found this tank or whatever you want to call it. And that was two days before I had to leave to Aspen for X Games.
Wow.
So we built it for one day and then we hit it next day. And right the day after I was flying to US. So and that was the last day for filming for this project.
So talk to us about once you started working with your team to put the edit together, select the track for the song, and put all the tricks into place. Once you finally saw, I don't know if you want to say a rough cut of the final, what was your immediate takeaway?
Well, I was, yeah, of course, I was super happy, and I always love watching what Anton is doing, and he's probably, my opinion is that he's probably one of the best filmer and editor. So that's yeah, always nice to see what he's doing, and but it's like this kind of contest, you never know what the other guys what they were doing, and like, oh, if my clips are like not even close to the other guys, So I was it's kind of hard to see, hard to know before you see the other parts.
Well, generally across the X Games Real Series, it's always generally a very neck and neck contest amongst parts, and things are really close, and the judges seem to really have a decision on their hands, and certainly the fan vote, things can be really close.
Exactly.
It's been a while since we've had somebody just absolutely knock it out of the park the way you did. It seemed like the judges had no choice. That yours was far and above the gold medal standard, and then the fan vote was insane. The numbers that you got, also winning fan vote, you went double gold, my friend, in real.
Thank you. Yeah, it's crazy. Like I said, like when we got this invite for this project, we couldn't imagine anything like this. So, whew,
Anton said something I was really poignant, I thought, during his interview on the episode of World of X Games, and he said, I want to make sure I got this quote right. He said, "Rene is a guy who can have full focus on anything he wants to do." And that's interesting because you always seem so loose and go with the flow, and you want to have a good time and snowboard. And I think sometimes we don't realize that laser focus that's necessary to kind of propel you to where you want to go. That's an interesting perspective that Anton provided on you that I don't think maybe a lot of fans take into account when they watch you.
Yeah, I think it comes probably like from of course, like if we were doing something like this, and or like contest, it doesn't matter like what contest it is. Of course, everybody wants to do their best, but I feel like me and Anton, it's a little bit easier like to film with him because like we have pretty much the same idea all the time. Yeah. So it's nice to find like all those spots, and we see like, okay, this we're gonna film this like this, and yeah, it feels easy with him and with the whole stunt team, and yeah, and I feel like snowboarding level these days is pretty crazy, so you need to be pretty focused for doing those tricks
and on the
like not get died,
And on the contest side, it feels like we've really progressed toward a very specialized, hey, I ride slopestyle, I'm more big air, I'm certainly just a pipe rider. You break through all those barriers for contests: slopestyle, pipe, big air, rail jam, knuckle huck, and there are 5. You did 4 of the 5. I mean, you wanted to ride everything, and you were maybe the only 1 or 2 riders that actually did that. Explain the desire to want to snowboard everything available to you.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's but yeah, it feels amazing to get invited for all those events. Like it's an honor to be. I mean, it's nice to hear and see like some people thinks that I'm that kind of rider who can ride, pretty much like you said, pipe, rails, slopestyle. So that's that means a lot, and that's the way I'm always been looking snowboarding, and like all my favorite snowboarders are pretty much those kind of riders. So, and I feel like there's too many nice things that I don't want to miss anything. So, you know.
No, and I think that's such a breath of fresh air, and I think everybody around snowboarding appreciates that about you. And I know Craig and I always say it in the broadcast about, no one seems more stoked to be at an event than you. So that's really neat. Knuckle Huck has certainly taken snowboarding by storm. When it made its debut a couple of winters ago, it was the most fun we had ever had at a snowboard contest. And then it felt like you guys elevated it this past January in Aspen. That was the wildest contest we've ever seen. What was it like to be a part of that?
I mean, it feels, it's pretty crazy and scary at the same time. I feel like at first it was like, we were doing like pretty basic hand drags and all that, but now it's like crazy. Like Fridtjof did like 180 to double off the knuckle, and Halder went like, Halder style. So it's getting insane, but which is cool. But I feel like I almost enjoy more watching those guys riding than trying some double corks of the knuckle myself right now. So
right,
but yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, and it's cool because
for sure.
It brings out riders that we don't get to see all the time at X Games, whether it's Haldor, right, or Zeb. Yeah,
they went big for sure.
Back to your video for a second. One thing that was really neat, and it's really a departure from what you see from a lot of these parts, and you embrace it, and you even talk about it, is the helmet, wearing your helmet on the streets and filming. And I know that's something that's obviously really important to you.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's I've always been like riding. I mean, pretty much every time I ride with the helmet, and especially when we're filming streets, I always wear helmet. I feel like just the idea of like taking snow off the stairs and doing all that kind of stuff, so which is like super crazy. So I feel like it feels better just in case to have the helmet. And of course it's smart. It's like I said, snowboarding these days is crazy. So damn, I really want to use helmet when I'm riding streets.
No, it's great, and I really applaud you for that. And I think years ago that might have been held against somebody, like, oh, he's wearing a helmet, he loses style points. But it's cool because your riding is so progressive, so innovative. You look at the YouTube comment section and like, that's awesome that he's wearing a helmet, and like that he's still going this massive. So that was really neat, man. And I can't thank you enough for sort of bringing this video to the world. So with winning gold, and as well as becoming the people's champ and winning the fan vote, that ensures that you will be riding in this contest next year. So have you taken any thought to like what you got planned for 2021?
Damn, I don't know yet. Damn, it's do you know who else is gonna do it?
No,
next year?
I don't think those invites. And I don't mean to take it away from you. Enjoy this win. Okay, don't start thinking.
Thank you so
much. Before I let you go, obviously this pandemic is global and nobody is immune to it. I'm just curious how things are going for you personally. Are you sort of isolating yourself, and how is it in Finland as a whole compared to certainly the United States?
Well, yeah, it's word is going pretty crazy right now, like everybody knows, and it's good to stay safe and do some like some mellow stuff, and I've been just hiking a little bit to my local resort and like just riding some straight slopes and have the last taste of snowboarding. Actually, I'm gonna do a surgery tomorrow for my ankle because it's still broken, so I need to fix it. So now it's good time for doing that.
Well, I'm glad we got you before that surgery. Yeah, that must be real quick though. You broke your ankle early in the season in the fall, as you said.
Yeah.
For a snowboarder, that's about as tough as something you can break, because you break a leg, you're out for the season, or you mess up a knee, you're done. The ankle, obviously you're off your snowboard for a few weeks, maybe a couple months, but that's a nagging injury that will follow you. So that's crazy that you competed and filmed this part on a bad ankle, man.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it was it was pretty mental sometimes, like, because you kind of all the time you feel a little bit, when you're like landing deep on the landing or like twisting it a little bit, so you can feel it. So I'm pretty glad, like, now I have time for fixing it and stay safe and healthy.
Well, man, I appreciate it. You were an absolute pleasure to watch all season long.
Thank you.
Congratulations on winning Rio, and hopefully we'll see you this summer, man. Maybe you can come out to X Games in Minneapolis. I know you love to skate as well, so
yeah,
we should get you out there.
That'd be lovely, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get you out there.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, Rene, congrats again, man.
Thank you.